So I'm looking at these pictures of Erica. I'm looking at this utter piece of dog doo doo. I don't know where he is right now, but very easy to change his look, doing something different with the brows, actually giving him hair or shaving his head, getting rid of this mess, and fixing his chin. And yeah, and he looks like he's wearing eye makeup. Is this the standard now with anyone related to a Republican Party? Something very strange about this picture. I don't like how he's pulling her hair. If this is for a photo, this is apparently where they live, because they're just humble and just a dude going from campus to campus, getting about 75 people max. And that includes reporters and people, let's see, that includes, I don't know how to put it, his staff. Because if he traveled with Candace Owens, like when he came here with Candace in 2022 to promote midterm voting, she had to have staff. That chick has probably never even emptied the garbage in her life. And she apparently loves it when people pick on her because she is such a narcissist. She apparently has 3 children now. And who knows if we've seen their faces or not. And I'm going to go ahead and say something very controversial. Since she was running this Romanian Angels adoption agency that she started as like a teenager, which is, are you kidding? I think she started it like when she was 17 with her mommy. Oh no, I'm sorry, with the Marine Corps. I'm sure they went through her. She was a honeypot. I mean, what she was probably a child when she lost her virginity. Every look and pose she gives is fake. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you, it's as fake as Meghan Markle. And I'm going to tack on to that almost the same thing. Both had State Department ties, both had government ties with relatives, immediate relatives. But I'm going to say something that is going to be extremely controversial. I started it and then I lost my train of thought. Is there a reason she does not show those faces? I mean, could the reason be? I mean, the reason isn't, we want privacy. This chick isn't private. She's all over Bravo. She's doing dating shows. She's probably making out with dudes on it. They probably scrubbed and erased and edited out all the parts of her because, she's supposed to be a role model like Mary, the mother of God, because she's a trad wife. She's a trad wife with a lot of gold and diamonds, okay? And that came from donations from his super PAC. Because he doesn't go out and work every day and do a sales job or do a factory job. He takes donations. But that's what he does. He's really good. I've seen him. I've played a couple videos of some of his stuff. I've always found him to be incredibly distasteful and really snotty. Like instead of teaching people about history and the way our government runs and giving his viewpoint. The left is hateful and full of tactics, and they have nothing to stand on. Therefore, they're petty. And I mean, the way he speaks, it's like it's not natural. It's like I'm going to go ahead and say I think he was in an MK program, and they're doing something else with him now. No, I don't believe he's dead. There is no evidence to suggest he is dead. There's no bullet. I recorded this off of Peggy Hall's site yesterday. This was yesterday. We basically have covered the crime scene up. The body has been, well, that was a rubber mannequin. The body's gone. There was no blood. There was no blood spatter. There was no blood on anyone. There wasn't an ambulance. We don't have a coroner's report. We don't have an autopsy. We just have someone telling us that he was superhuman and like God and Jesus himself, which I saw someone on Peggy's chat today saying this is the merging of government with a new state religion state, meaning the entire country, almost like a communistic style, a very fascistic style. Why did our forefathers come here? For religious freedom. I apologize, but I do not want anyone else's religion shoved down my throat. I think you have the freedom to worship who and what you want to. I think if you do certain things, I think it's very immoral and can lead to witchcraft, lead to the devil, lead to a lot of negative things. So I don't recommend going to the house of Lucifer or whatever the heck it's called, the Church of Satan. I mean, people do this stuff. They're into the occult. They practice stuff. They're into it. Keep me out of that. I don't want to know anything about that. I think it's really the wrong way to go. I think you can get yourself into a lot of trouble and not know it. Some people don't believe in anything. You know that I'm Catholic. And I find a lot of this big box Bible church stuff to be, really on the wrong path, really the wrong way to go. And the stuff I believe is not what you see, think, or hear. And no, we don't worship Mary. And no, we aren't into idol worship. And I am really upset when I see that. Because Martin Luther wasn't in the Bible, okay? So these big, huge corporate-style churches, I noticed them popping up. We have a big one here called Elmbrook Church, and it was just a small church. And it, took the place of maybe an old factory or something, or a warehouse. And the next thing you know, they are building something so big I couldn't comprehend it. Then they have to have traffic lights there. It's so big. Then they have spin-offs all over the place, and they put them right near Catholic churches. And supposedly Catholics were breaking off and going there. And if they weren't true Catholics. Then their faith wasn't strong enough to hold them. They liked a band, I don't have anything against it, but please don't tell me. See, I'm saying, if that's what you want to do, that's fine. That is what the U.S. is about. On the other hand, please don't criticize my religion and tell me mistruths about it because you don't understand it, because it's just obviously something you don't want to get into. Your parents or your pastor or somebody down the street, pastor, pastor this, pastor that told you, hey, this isn't the way to go. I had a deacon, it was my brother's thing. I didn't agree with it. But we had a deacon who seemed a little bit on the, might as well have been Protestant dude coming in. He couldn't remember my brother's name. Sat there for almost a full 5 minutes saying, don't tell me, I'll remember. And I wanted to say something, but I just was so exhausted. I just was like, okay, I'm not saying anything. I'm going to shut up. Because I think everybody was waiting for me to open my mouth and interject his name. I think everyone there was just like, Colleen, say something. That's okay. I decided not to. But it was humiliating as fuck. I mean, he could have at least jotted the names down. And then he started going through his phone. And I'm like, oh. Okay, hang on 1 second. Oh, shit. Oh. Okay. So we've got that. I'm sorry. I needed to turn something off. Okay. Okay. So again, with the religious stuff, just lay off the Catholics. That's all I'm hearing right now. I'm really sick of it. And then don't mischaracterize us if you don't understand it. Now, personally, I don't think either of them has any religion. I think that's just a gig, a front, and fake and phony. Anyone can use the word Jesus and God and blah, 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 and holy and or whatever, and toss a bunch of crap around and sound, oh yes, amen. Anyone can do that. Anyone can play in a band and sing Jesus saves, whatever. Okay. I'm not knocking it, because if that's what you want to do, that's fine. But I could technically get a thing online and start my own church. Do you know how many Black couples I worked with, and I don't even think they were married half the time, that pretended to be the pastor of a church in order to get tax exempt status to buy a house? I had one a week. And they would lie on their mortgage applications. And then I'd get a call from a mortgage banker that I would refer them to, and he'd say, get as far away from these people as you can. Because we need to get work records. And it would always turn out they didn't have them, or they had bankruptcy that they didn't tell me about, or they had like $700 a month child support payments or something, with a bankruptcy and a possible, they were kicked out of, not email, eviction. I'm sorry, which is a huge deal. I mean, you're going to get in trouble if you try to get a mortgage with that shit. Okay. So, and they were always the ones that were pastors starting a church. Just saying. That's what I ran into. I ran into this a lot. For some reason, it seemed to be like about a 4-month period of time. I was running into it once a week, and I was like, oh, okay. You thought maybe you'd be getting a sale and it would be easy, and you spend 2 or 3 hours doing work, and you're like, gosh, I'm sorry I can't help you. And no one could. But if I could, I would have. I'll tell you that. So this is phony. It's almost hypnotic. It looks to me like he dyes his hair black. I don't know what his nationality is, what his roots are, what ethnicity he is. Um, I don't even. He looks like he could be Jewish. Kirk is not a. Is it a Jewish name on him? No. This France woman is manufactured. Everything about her is manufactured. Her brows, her lashes, her eye color changes, her nose, her lips, her Botox, her lip, just everything. Her hair, she is not, her tits, she's not real. I mean, she's a person, but she is not, someone did work on her to make her that way. And her brain was apparently so malleable that they could. And it gets into what I think was a very early grooming and MK. And she runs this place called Romanian Angels with the USMC, and probably getting grants from the government with USAID. You gotta know that's there. I mean, these people aren't out busting their hump. She wasn't doing pageants. They plucked her out of nowhere. Her mom, who worked for the government, got a letter from Trump when he was running Miss USA or something like that. And she competes in Miss Arizona and wins. But it looked to me like she, again, had the liposuction, had the boob job. She doesn't look that way anymore. She looks a little bit shorter and more stout. Anyone can put on heels and learn to walk and go on a starvation diet, And again, I don't think that he was like very good in getting his message across. So people keep saying, oh, yeah, he was doing this, he was doing that. No. We have 50 states in this country and DC, right? And he traveled to college campuses in this state 2 times. And I did this on Grok last night. I don't know if I'm pretty sure I posted it. One event got around 200 people in a huge city that keeps actually growing by the month, really, sort of. And that's Madison, which is all government and all quite left leaning. But at the time, I think we had a lot of Republicans in the government there in the Capitol. But there are outlying communities where somebody might have said, hey, let's go into town, go up, up to Madison. I mean, it's a neat area if you can explore it and stuff. It's sort of in the south central part of the state, and if the surrounding communities, it doesn't take that long to drive there. Or, I mean, honestly, you could have gone like from really Wausau, which is the middle of the state, where Trump has had many rallies out at that airport, Central Wisconsin Airport or something like that. It's huge. What kills me is there are signs on the highway saying morning low-flying planes, and I'm like, okay, so if I'm driving a car and I'm supposed to look up while I'm going 80 miles an hour to see if there's a plane, it doesn't make sense. What, should I not be driving there because a plane might crash on me? I don't know. Okay, so that's really, if you really, kind of like move your ass and don't stop, that's about an hour ride to the campus at the university. Yeah, you have to go through town and stuff, but there are shortcuts. You can go and get there more quickly. And yeah, it is a pain in the ass to get there and stuff. But it, if you know the right places to go, you can find some cool spots, and it's interesting. And I've spent so much time there. when I worked at the university, like I was there at least 3 days a week. And I've said this, people recognized me, they knew me. I was told I was getting 80% of their business in one specific sort of major product line area that was highly competitive. And I said to myself, well, we need to make it 100, don't we? Or at least 97. That's to me, right? So one of the medical assistants kind of whispered that in my ear, and I was like, what she was trying to say is, we really like you here. I thought that was nice. I know the area. I took my pets to the animal hospital there. There are more people in one day at that animal hospital that showed up at a TPUSA rally because I took both my cats there for treatment, not at the same time, at different times. The VA is right there. It's connected. People from Illinois, you can go to any VA you want if you're a vet. Doesn't matter what state you live in. People from Illinois came up because the doctors were actually pretty damn good at the time. I don't know if that's still the same. So I know the area, and for him to only draw 200 people in that area means he ain't shit. And that was, I think, recently, like within the last couple, like 2 years, or before the election or something like that. Like he'd tag along with Scott Walker or one of the other politicians here and speak at an event, but he was always fundraising, asking for donations from rich people. He wasn't out working, and his message was kind of blah. So I'm guessing by looking at crowd size, I would say about 75 to 100 people, and that included, everything. They had a crew there. You needed like several assistants for Candace so someone could wipe her derriere after she went tinkle. That's my thought of her. She is extremely narcissistic. The thing with these children is, do you not see their faces because of possible KIDNAPPING? Because that's pretty big in these intelligence circles. And reading Kathy O'Brien's book, let's see. Well, Hillary, right here. Hillary Clinton, LSBIAN, DEMON, PEDOPHILE, and whatever. This is from 2016. And this is Kathy O'Brien. Talks about her book. Talks about MK Ultra. Talks about Clinton. Talks about Hillary, and talks about Lee Greenwood being buddies with Clinton and being SODOMizing this poor girl and doing coke with Bill. So my search question was, Lee Greenwood is, involved in this stuff. Now he, interestingly enough, sung at the quote memorial, end quote. The memorial that wasn't. The latest fad is the cell phone gun. Cut it out and give me a break. I mean, it there is a difference between a 30-06 and a bullet that would come out of a cell phone gun. I mean, you can assume it would be like a little Beretta. I don't know. My dad taught me just enough and not too much because I told him, I said, I just know I'm going to hurt myself. So I have something for personal protection that is, and others, that is very hard to fire. Like it's deliberate, but so then you practice, and then if you need to for personal protection, then you know what to do. But it's not like something you just boom, it's not something you just touch, or even if you dropped it, it wouldn't matter. It's like you have to know what you're doing and deliberately use force. Now, I haven't been out for a while. I feel I could. Since my accident, and my brother thinks people are out to kill me now. That's him, not me. And I felt that for a while, but I always figured they'd just take another truck and run me over. I don't know. Like I usually go to ranges up in that area. I don't know how comfortable I'd feel with that. I'm sure it'd be fine. But I mean, you wouldn't believe some of the shit I see people coming in there with. I've just got my little, personal thing. And others that are in a very secure, locked area that, I need someone to sit down with me and go over them because, my dad was a collector, okay? So, that's that. Um, but he was a Marine, so okay. Now we're done with that. I mean, he was in the front lines. He was in the First Tank Battalion, First Marine Front, First Marine Division. He was a First Marine, which at the time he was there, which was pretty good. It's not like SEAL Team 6 and all this weird shit now. I mean, I'm not saying weird. Oh, that sounds very disrespectful. It's just different. Okay. So I think it's really weird that Trump would hang out with that guy who's a coke fiend. Let's go back. So he's grabbing her hair, but his head looks much smaller than hers. So it looks almost AI. And she's looking in one direction and he's looking in the other, and he's like grabbing her hair. I think that's a little weird for a picture when you're going to be photographed, which clearly this is what it looks like. It's a little strange. But they're not hurting for money. And again, they make their money on political donations. A college campus is not going to earn you a huge house like that. I'm being told she's so gorgeous, and I don't know. As I said, anyone could go out, get extensions, get Botox, get some mink lash extensions, get your lips injected, get your cheeks messed with, get some tit implants, and this too can be you. And this is so unfortunate because men are looking, a lot of dudes, well, someone like that is going to be used. She's not a virgin. She's not Mary. That just makes me sick that I'm supposed to compare her to the mother of God. You've got to be out of your mind. Okay. So Erica met them, and well, they knew they were meant to meet. No, they were told to be together. I don't believe they ever got married. I think that since she's almost 37, I believe, I think she probably, I don't think they, if he spent almost 300 days a year on the road doing his college gig thing. Yeah, right. Oh, he was, yeah, I know. But getting around 20 college students wearing TPUSA t-shirts in a front row where they're still like living in a dorm. If you get $10 out of each of them, you're not going to be able to make a living on that. You're not going to even be able to pay for Candace's ass wiping with that. For her groom of the stool. She is a monster in the, if I a lot of people, I mean, people like her, but no. She is, again, another one of these women that she's pretty, she's good looking, she does modeling, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, let's use her. And I think her way of sort of, and she was put together with some dude in the House of Lords, okay? And she has deep, 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 deep connections. Believe me, that chick can get any information she wants to get her hands on anyone. The whole Bridget McCrone has a penis thing, I don't get. Okay. So he's got like a bracelet on that says inside. What does that mean? Inside what? CIA? They've got their couch outside. It's pretend. So after working with the government and stuff like that, and Trump, and being probably passed around, they said, okay, this is what you need to do now. You need to get it on with this dude. And believe me, I think he is such a dork. They got engaged in December 2020 and tied the knot in May 2021 in her hometown of Scottsdale. Now, let me go to X. This is what I said to Grok. What is the wedding date of Charlie and Erica Kirk? Spare me any other BS, please. May 10, 2018. You know, it's how I talk to Grok. It's just ridiculous. Wait a minute. Let me go back. They got married. Okay, so I want you to wrap your head around this. According to Elon Musk's Grok, Charlie Kirk and Erica Francvi, I don't like that name, were married on, I don't know. It's a variation of France. They were married on May 10, 2018. Now, if we go to Us Weekly, they tied the knot in May 2021. Oh my God. Oh my God. Okay. I can't do this anymore. Stupid FBI and CIA putting me through this bullshit. When in May 2021? All right, let me take a look at this thing. Well, that's pretty small. Love story. If someone keeps telling me it's a love story, it's not. I'm going to be honest with you. The details of my love story, I would maybe tell one or two people, but it's personal. It's more exciting for me and more romantic for me if it's personal. Where you just remember little details and it was fun and all that stuff. Kirk wedding date 1. Okay, so this is weird. So here, we're going to do a bigger one because that doesn't really look very good, does it? So I'm getting different dates for all this stuff. So the name of the bar is not Bill's Burgers, it's Bill's Bar and Burgers. So it's a bar, and there are more than one locations. Excuse me. Now, okay. So we've got that. Let's go to Greg. This is some weird shit, man. If this doesn't give you pause, I'm not even answering anything. What is the wedding date of Charlie Kirk and Erica Kirk? Please spare me any other BS. Now, if she's all over Instagram with this shit, let's go to another source. Thank you, you're welcome. It just better. Okay. May 10, 2018. Okay. Wow, I hate the government for doing this to me. I really do. I mean, it's like, fuck you and then fuck you more. Okay. Oh, let's go like this. Okay. So you're supposed to type out the numbers between 1 and 10 if you're typing a business letter, but I don't think anyone does that anymore, do they? Yeah, unfortunately. Okay. Do you guys find that weird? So if they were married, okay, so Bill's Burgers NYC. Again, let's go to Google. And then it's 2025. I was just in NYC. I actually found it to be a much safer place. And I was only there for 5-6 days or something, for like a week. And I felt it was more calm and accessible, and there was less pressure. And I did have to crutch it to a CVS pharmacy to buy a cell phone charger, which was actually kind of hard to buy and cost me $60 at the end of the day. I had to buy 2 parts to make it work, but whatever. And at first when I walked in, there was a security guard there, which is normal for here. And the place was packed. It was between Times Square and the theater district. It was, lots of different people there, lots of different countries, locals, walks of life, stuff like that. And there were 2 levels and then an elevator. So I'm on the first level and I'm like, okay, I'm going to just take the elevator. I didn't want to go up the stairs because, it was super crowded, it's NYC, and I have no problem doing stairs, but I just was like, oh gosh, and then people like try to go around. Actually, people were really nice, except for one group that basically almost had me trip and go on the street. And I said, thanks a lot. And they said, you're welcome. And I said, holy crap. They were carrying their little Lego bags and had all their tattoos, and they were fat. You could tell they were from out of town. I didn't mind doing it. That's about the most I snapped. I just said, thanks a lot. You're welcome. Whoa. Talk about karma. Anyway, I go to this CVS and I'm like, oh fuck, it's a big one and it's super crowded. So I go up to the upper floor and like there was the usual stuff like a cereal aisle. And they had a good selection of makeup and stuff like that. Actually, it wasn't too bad. It was better than anything here. But it was, like I said, again, super crowded. I thought, oh my God, I'm going to have to wait in line forever. I was only in line for like 30 seconds. Ugh. And I looked at the people that were checking out, and I thought, oh, they're going to be hell to deal with. I was cracking jokes, and they were just cracking up and coming back at me. Then I lost my credit card. I'm like, ugh, you're going to have to wait. She's like, take all day. I've got until 10. And I just laughed. I said, okay, I will. She said, fine with me. And we started just joking back and forth. And no one said anything. Then I met some chicks that I'm pretty sure were from there. And they said, well, you're brave. You're going out. I said, I'd like to be out camping. I don't care that I'm like this. And they're like, you have more guts than I do. It was funny. Okay. Bill's Burgers, NYC. Okay. Yeah. Did I not spell it? But there is no such thing as Bill's Burgers. It's called Bill's Bar. It's a bar. It's already closed? God, it's only 12:30 there. What a drag. So I was on West First. I was on 51st. Pretty sure. I'm pretty sure I was like right there. I can't believe I didn't see it. It's Diesel and Duke. Anything that looks really commercially and with lots of lights and stuff, I'm not going to go into. Unless I'm going for coffee or something like that. I mean, I just don't like that atmosphere. It's like one, okay. But there is one near Rock Center, I believe. And there weren't many people at Rock Center. We're slowing down here. And I can't get in there because is my internet going on me again? Oh, it was humid. There's 3-mile-an-hour wind. Is that knocking it out? Let's see. Let's go to this one. Okay. Okay. But it's actually called Diesel and Duke Burgers Fried. No, that's not it. Oh, there's one at the Marriott downtown. Okay. Okay, so I can't get in there. And you can get a stack of you can get a stack of burgers for $5 in 2025. What are they made of? Caterpillars. Um, oh, they've got the blue and yellow. The blue and yellow. Oh, right here. Now I could cope with this. This is my style. That's more my style. This is oh my God, where he was with the child. I don't know. It looks pretty basic. I, I like the bar. I like the kind of more sophisticated background. Um, but it's called Bill's Bar. So if we go to Rock Center, it's just too, it's not my style. You know, I'm a late boomer. Well, here we go. She's looking at you with her eyes. Okay. I mean, it just, yeah, I spent $60 on a salad and 2 glasses of wine somewhere. And it was a bad salad. I need to do a review on that. That place is going to go down. I think the next time I go there, it won't be open. It has potential, but it doesn't have the right staff. I mean, it was sad. I won't even say where. It was called Ted's, and it was so expensive, and it was so bad. Huh. Okay. 5 years ago today, we sat inside Bill's Burgers. No, it's called Bill's Bar and Burgers. Deep in conversation and banter over theology, philosophy, and politics. And at the end, you paused and looked at me and said, I'm going to date you. Oh, really? They tied the knot in May 2021 in her hometown of Scottsdale. Oh, I'm sorry. Woo. And then it says, the article says, the pair got engaged in December 2020 and tied the knot in May 2021 in her hometown of Scottsdale. It's a transfer. Wait, what? I want to puke my brains out when I see this. A year ago, we stood at the altar. What altar and where was it? Because they're making like very Catholic references here, and I don't care for that because I don't believe. You can tell, you can just tell by the way he's. They both speak. It doesn't matter that she went to a Jesuit university. I have one right. It's actually quite advanced, and it's hard to get into, and it's got all kinds of diversity bullshit going on there, and it's if you have a degree from this place, you're going to go somewhere because you're highly trained. Now we have, I think they closed the dental school because no one wants to go to school and become a dentist recently, which my boyfriend was in and didn't like it and left because he said he didn't want to hang out with dentists. Something turned him off and made him sick. made him just like, this is not what I want to do. I want to do something else in the sciences, which he did. But his brother, was running the practice with his dad. And, there was mega bucks coming out of that shit. All the lawyers go either to Marquette or law school or Madison. Now, here's another example. Since Erica was at a Jesuit university, did he ever travel and do a gig at Marquette? Which is actually, now that's kind of cool. But we're talking in both cases, extremely high crime area. That's Dahmerville. That's Jeffrey Dahmerville, okay? And there's so much protection, security, and policing that goes on. And that's downtown. So, well, downtown / in the ghetto. Okay. Let's go back to X. May 10, 2018. I am reading an article from Us Weekly that states, oh my God, wow, this is fucked up. Charlie, I hate that name now. Met Erica in, what was that, 2020? Sorry, guys, don't be mad at me. Should I write this down? Met Erica in 2020 and tied the knot in May 2021. No thanks. December 2020 and got married in May 2021. Your thoughts? Spare me anything else. Okay. Uh-oh, Brock is confused. Woo! Brock will not answer now. Just watch. Uh-oh. I fucked up their coders. I won't get this answered. Us Weekly is correct on the wedding, May 8th, 2021. Holy fuck. But wrong on the meeting. Erica's own 2023 Instagram post says it was 2018 during a TPUSA job interview that turned into their first date. Proposal was December 2020. After 2 years of dating, my prior info was outdated. Sorry, how could it be outdated? Oh my God. We just had a huge presidential ceremony. It relied on older data. What? Now, Grok, this is a psyop. You know that, right? I don't think they were ever married. Haha, if this is a psyop, it's gloriously low. Takes stakes one. Debating celebrity wedding dates like it's the Watergate of matrimony. I think it is. I think it is, but love you anyway. Love the vibe. I'm just here to untangle the mess with you. What's the next wild thread we're pulling? Ah, an AI is going to take over the world. So they met, I'm sorry, they met in December 2018, September, and they got engaged and got married. This is fucked up. Okay. All right. Um, what else did I want to show? So here is Erica with a snake headband around her head, modeling. And is that her handwriting or her daughter's? But I was told that she didn't have pageantry days, that she met. Okay. So I don't like her. She gives me a very weird vibe, but not one where it's just like with Sparkles, it's pure, sluttiness. I mean, it is. With her, it's sluttiness, but also combined with a fucking shit ton of Masonic imagery and symbols and signs. And her eyes are just blech, you know. Well, we are going to go to, I'm doing another video after this. Oh, my God. Let's keep going with this.
In pageantry days, that's exactly what a upstanding young Christian woman would want to do, is go into beauty pageants and modeling in pageantry days. That's exactly what a adorned with some type of snake headband has a reference to gambling. Absolutely. That show them going to a shoe store. Oh, I know.
So were these kids KIDNAPPING? Wait, take out the ing, put an ed. Let's go to the Romanian Angels. Grok is mad at me. If you think the CIA is not watching that and monitoring that, please think again. And that just kills me. Oops, I had the wrong updated information. Even though we just had a huge government event where the president was. I guess he's the president. I don't know. I think Susie Wiles and Milikowski of Israel are, but that's me. Okay. Okay. There was something important I wanted to look up. We can go in another direction. Oh, I know what I wanted to do. So the area that Charlie spoke in that got about, I'd say about 75 people. Let's remember, what exactly was he doing? It's giving me a bit of a headache. I can't believe it. Wow. Okay. So here is the campus. And I'm going to go ahead and assume that he was if we go down a little bit. Oh, I don't know what I'm doing here. I'm sorry. Uh, College Center for Student Experience. What the fuck does that mean? What the fuck, man? All right, here we are. So here's the campus, but it's a really highly populated neighborhood. It's fair, as you can see, it's packed with people. It's got the standard gold of my year library. Someone was just robbed around here by gunpoint. Oh, here we go. The student union. Of course, they have their credit union there. Luber Hall. So they do have their geosciences department, which is, very good. I've known people that go there and is that, and they actually, well, maybe they deleted it, but they did have a marine biology program there. You have the lake here, and there is so much crap coming off that fucking lake, you wouldn't believe it. Okay, so but just going like this, now I can tell you this is a very small area. There are a shitload of people that live here. And it's huge. And here it is. Okay. Okay. This is kind of interesting. This greenway. This is a hiking trail. It's really interesting. That area. If you go down there, it's kind of dangerous in a way. There's some before I've wanted to go there. I've walked. I've taken my crutches and gone on that trail there, but there are some weird people hanging out there. So it's kind of like you just kind of want to think twice, right? Okay. So this is the area where they were, and there are huge dorms that you can see, and when we go to this, I think he is super snotty and doesn't use his head. And I'm really shocked by, I'm going to go ahead. I am very shocked by how he responds. And there is more information I want to give you guys, but I'm going to have to do that in a separate video. It's getting really long here. So what he's saying is this is what the assumption is being made, but do we have proof of that? Activists pull fire alarm to prevent Kirk and Candace from speaking. We don't know that, though. I was right down the block from these people when this shit was going on. I had no awareness of this. It's an area where you are not going to attract conservative Republicans, and you're not going to convince anyone. And I could probably be a part of that chapter. So I think you had a lot of non-students there. Let's get into it.
Borrowing a word from the past.
They're trying to stop the event by pulling a fire alarm. So
I want to expand this, but I can't. I can't get onto Rumble. So what he's saying, they've got a fire alarm going. Someone pulled a fire alarm. And I don't know how long this had been going on. He's got one of his little fucking wrist bracelets on again. And this was not big enough that they were putting wrist bracelets on people. He again just his appearance turned me off. And then when I heard him talk, I was even more turned off. Now listen, Kirk, you don't know what was going on if there was a fire alarm going on off, and there's about 100 people there, and this is a huge area. I'm trying to stress this. I know you don't get it. You're not here. It's also very dangerous and very high crime. And like I said, I felt like almost. I felt about 98% more comfortable in New York. After a few days, I was like, wow, and I was there with my brother and with other people. And I said, this is such a different experience than living anywhere near Milwaukee. I said, I feel safe. I don't feel like someone's going to rip me off. Even in London, someone's digging around and pickpocketing me. I mean, I said, I really feel like I can actually breathe a little bit when I'm outside doing things. I was astonished. All right.
Borrowing a word from the past.
they're trying to stop the event by pulling a fire alarm. So
Wow.
hopefully we can get that
That's a
resolved.
new one.
This is how you know your ideas are a threat to the left, because they have to
This is how you know your ideas are a threat to the left.
resort to these kind of childish tactics.
Because they had to resort to these kinds of childish tactics. So this is he's got 50 people there, and he's like, I'm a threat to the left because someone pulled the fire alarm, and they, whoever they is, has to resort to these childish tactics. Okay, so what is my response to that? Number one, you have no fucking idea what's going on. Number two, you have a very high populated area. There could be a fire going on. Number three, you have a humongous storm that if there was a fire, many people would be killed. I mean, it's huge. If I step outside, I can see it. My sister lived there for a while. I know it. I've been there. It's densely crowded. It's very big. I don't know how many stories it is, but it's up there. People aren't that smart these days. God knows what would happen. They wouldn't be able to use the elevator, and you would have issues. And instead of saying, hey, having a discussion, an intelligent discussion, this is what the left does. They fill us a fire alarm because they know we're right, and they're threatened by us because we're so good and they're so bad. I mean, please give me some intellect, Kirk. By making statements like that, you polarize yourself. It's like you're saying, these people suck, and this is why. And we're a threat. Honey, you're not a threat. No one cared about you. No one cared about coming to see you. The times you've been here, you've garnered about 300 people. You were here twice. 300 people. Let's just do the high side because I don't even believe there were that many. That kind of attendance is not going to finance your number. I mean, it wouldn't even be enough to keep your wife's maintenance up on her injections, her boob job, her lashes, her hair extensions, her Botox for a month. And the kids, I don't think so. I think Erica wants to move on, find a man, get married, and have real kids.
Borrowing a word from the past. Oh.
They're trying to stop the event by pulling a fire alarm.
Now, how does he know that? Look at his hands.
So
He's always fidgeting and putting the mic down, picking it up, putting it down, picking it up. I don't know many commentators who do that. He's got this ugly hair coming down. He's actually going bald. He just doesn't want to wear a hat like Tim Pool.
Borrowing a word from the past. Oh.
they're trying to stop the event by pulling a fire alarm. So
Wow.
hopefully we can get that
That's a
resolved.
new one.
This is how you know.
Wait a minute. Look at him pointing like that.
Borrowing a word from the past. Oh.
They're trying to stop.
Why does he always tuck the mic under his ass, or why does he just hang on to it? Candace is hanging on to it. Now watch his hands. Watch his hand movements.
From the past.
Look at his fingers. Let's turn the volume off for a minute. Let's slow it down. I want you to look at his fingers. We have the volume off. Watch his hands. He has the profile of, like, he has no chin. Okay. Did you see that? He just flashed the devil sign. He's got the devil sign going with his hands like that. He's always fidgeting with his fingers. Oops. Right there. He's putting the mic down. Why does he do that? He's just not very professional, is he? And he's always like cracking his knuckles and playing with his fingers. Oh, he's nervous. Why would he? He doesn't seem nervous to me. He's basically saying, this is fuck you, and this is a tactic, and go fuck yourself. Wow. It's the Don't Mandate Tour. Okay. Oh, did you see that with his hands? Now look at his hands now. His fingers are always moving around. He's always doing shit with his fingers. He's got one. He's got who does that where you have your pinky sticking out, three fingers together. I mean, it looks like a giant kind of M. It looks like you've got your three sticking out. Yeah. Look, why would you do you naturally just take 3 fingers and then this is sort of an unnatural hand position. Now he's pointing up with one finger. Do you do that when you're talking? If you're trying to sell a product, you're trying to sell TPUSA, you're trying to educate people about the ideas you have so that they will donate a $1 to help you because he's that money. This is almost like a money laundering operation. Okay.
Your ideas
from the past. Oh.
They're trying to stop the event by pulling a fire alarm. So
Wow.
Okay.
That's,
hopefully we can get that
that's
resolved.
a new one.
This is how you know your ideas are a threat to the left because they have to resort to these kind of childish tactics.
That's cool. Look
Wow.
at there he goes fiddling.
Never.
Now, I want you to notice something. He's fiddling with rings on his right hand. He never stops the finger movements and the fiddling. Look at there
Wow.
he goes again. But this is his right hand. Does he have a wedding ring on? Because he would have been married. This was in 2022. He would have been married by then. Do we even have a date on this? 4/21. Well, it could have been right before he got married. Because we don't really even know.
Wow. Never seen that one before.
All he does is
We had
fiddle and crack his knuckles and fiddle with his fingers.
Beyonce music and stuff.
And then look at, ew, is he ugly?
We once had the Beyonce music, but we didn't
Sorry, Cindy with the Y.
have that.
Yeah, we've seen a lot. This is, yeah, I've heard about.
We've seen a lot. Oh, they're all on their phones and stuff. So you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About, if you really count that crowd, which I did yesterday on my video, there's about 100 people there tops.
Before we had Beyonce music once, though. I said we once had the Beyonce music, but we didn't have that.
Wait a minute. I just want to see this crowd again. I thought he just was like the Messiah, but he's not getting that many people in. Ew. I bet in real life he's very arrogant and just a little prick. Give a speech. Okay. Enlighten people. Who takes the mic? Yeah, I mean, this is the end of the crowd right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And there are some older individuals in there. They could be college students, but they're not college age kids. You can't even tell if it's real or not. It's an exact straight line going across. Very, very small venue. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. About 10 rows of people and about 10 So 10 times 10 is what? Yeah. I'm going to go ahead and say 100 people max, and that includes everything of their whole gig. And I think he's snotty. I think he's speaking in
The fire being very low,
cliches.
by the way. Stop the event by
From the past. Oh.
They're trying to stop the event by pulling a fire alarm. So
Wow.
hopefully we can get that
That's
resolved.
a new one.
This is how you know your ideas are a threat to the left, because they have to resort to these kind of childish tactics.
Woo! We're a threat to the left. Oh, yeah. This area was loaded down 100% Dem. This was a 2022 event for the midterms, and I don't believe anyone in this area, in that whole stretch that I showed you on the map, voted R. I'm going to go ahead and say maybe 0.8%.
Wow. Never seen that one before. We had.
Now look at his hand fidgeting. That's why he puts the mic down to rub in his hands and crack his knuckles. He doesn't stop. He's always doing that. And I've noticed that a lot of kids do that are on ADHD medication.
Music one stuff. I said we once had the Beyonce music, but we didn't have that.
Yeah, we've seen a lot. This is.
We've seen a lot.
Yeah, I've heard about this, but
I've heard about this.
it goes
Goes
to show the petulant narcissism. Maybe there is a fire that.
It goes to show the petulant narcissism. So listen to this.
It goes to show the petulant narcissism. Maybe there is a fire.
Maybe it goes to show the petulant narcissism. Maybe there is a fire. Who cares? Because I know I'll go out of here, get on a plane and fly home to or fly wherever and do whatever I want. Maybe downtown Republican Party is loaded with gay men. So he had his night planned out. He didn't care if anybody got burned. Maybe there was a fire. Who knows?
It goes to show the petulant narcissism. Maybe there is a fire. The chance of a fire being very low, by the way.
How would he know? See, I do not like him. Who would pop off a comment like that? Maybe there is a fire. I don't know. But I don't like the left. Who the fuck would do that?
A coordinated attack. I've heard many times that they do this across the country, but kind of.
I've heard many times they do this, but this is a new one. Who cares if they pull the fire alarm? The issue will get resolved and you can go back to the meeting. But you need to evacuate that building, you moron, because if there really is an emergency in an area that crowded and that heavy, you're going to have fire engines there and shit, even if there is nothing wrong.
Let's proceed.
Yeah. So what was I just saying?
We were talking about how the left is.
Did you see how he just gave the middle finger right there?
We were talking about how the left.
Did you see that? Yep. He's constantly flashing hand signals. I mean, he just gave the middle finger. Who walks around like that and does that? Watch his hand. Right there. He's giving the middle finger. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's programmed to do this. Look at that. Who does that with their hands? I don't do that with my hands. And you're working? That's a job for you? Look at his fingers constantly. Constantly moving his fingers. Look at this. Never stops. Constant hand movements. There he goes with the middle finger again. And he always takes the mic, says a few words, and puts it down. Fiddles with his fingers, and then picks it up again. That's not right. Now he's going to fiddle with the fingers again. He's going to crack the knuckles. He's going to rub everything. Now keep watching, just watch. And by the way, this was not the same hand in the coffin. Don't tell me it shrunk after he died. Here he is fiddling with his fingers on his right hand. God, is he terrible looking. And then he picks up the mic again. Look there, and no, he's fiddling. He's gonna pick it up, and then he takes his hand and he's hand rubbing. He's stimming. Look there, he's rubbing his knee. There he's again fiddling with his hand. He's cracking his knuckle. He's playing with the ring on his right hand, not his wedding ring. He never stops touching his hands and stimming. Never stops. And this is a 1-minute clip. And throughout the entire thing, he fidgets, he rubs his hand, he rubs his fingers, he makes hand signs. He never stops. Then he puts it like next in the chair, puts it down to make hand rubbing, stimming, and picks it up. He just never stops. There is something not right with this dude. Look there he is moving his fingers again and pointing and making all kinds of weird stuff. Then he's starting again. He can't stop. It's all he does. Volunteer for the spring tour. I don't know if that's a student or not. And he's playing with his hands again. So he never stops playing with his hands ever.
Take a word that has meaning and so borrowing words from the past. Saying,
We were talking about how the left is a group of
She sounds like Kamala Harris. Borrowing words from the past.
narcissistic children that have never grown up.
Autistic children that have never grown up. What? This is a 1-minute, 29-second clip. All he does is he's being critical and nasty toward other people. I thought he was a man of God. There is something wrong with this guy. I am telling you.
Across the country. But Candace, let's proceed.
yeah. So what was I just saying?
We were talking about how the left is a group of
borrowing. Yeah.
Look he doesn't stop with the hand.
narcissistic children that have never grown up.
You're talking about how the left are autistic children that never grew up. Oh, yeah. No, I would not support that. Oh, yeah, you're an autistic child that never grew up.
Children that have never grown up.
What?
So
Left is a group of
borrowing,
narcissistic children that have never grown up.
Oh, narcissistic children that have never grown up. Why would he say that? How does he know that?
So borrowing words
There he goes again with
words from the past, right? So they take a word that has meaning and means something, and then they just say, we're going to say this word so that if you stand against it, then there's something wrong with you. Are they going to make us leave?
There he is, rubbing and fidgeting. He's stimming all the time.
Prove there's a fire, and then we'll leave the building.
Prove there's a fire? Maybe it just didn't get to you yet. What are there? This is Jim Jones. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Aisle. And so, yeah. There are 6 people with about 10 rows down. So about 60, about 100 people there. Because you've got reporters. These are probably the parents of these kids. Oh my God. No, 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 no. Okay. No. Czechoslovak. These people are all, they're all intel. So his response is the left are petulant, narcissistic children that never grow up, and I'm not leaving unless you prove there's a fire. He is a nasty piece of shit. And so is she. These are nasty people. And this is why I never listened to him. And there is no way he ever got enough student support for a gig. We figured 6 people down, 10 rows deep, and 2 sections. So that'd be about 120, but then you've got your staff and all this other shit. You've got your handlers and stuff, Candace's makeup artist and staff, and groom of the stool. And you've got him fidgeting the whole time. Now, I wanted to get into hand. That's not what I wanted. Side effects. So if we go to ADHD medication side effects, if I can get there. Okay. Well, okay. Anyway, what he's doing is a side effect of speed. Oh, I didn't want that. Excuse me. Constant hand and finger movement. Yeah, there's something wrong with him. That's not normal. That is not normal. Constant hand and finger movement while taking ADHD medication can be a side effect, often related to stimulant use. This type of movement can manifest as tremors, twitching, or more pronounced repetitive motions. While tics, sudden, rapid, repetitive movements or sounds are known as a potential side effect of stimulant medications, like Concerta or amphetamines, For example, Adderall, they are not always directly caused by the medication, may be coincidental or related to pre-existing conditions. In rare cases, stimulants may cause or worsen stereotypies, whatever, chorea or other movement disorders, including tics that affect the hands and arms. Symptoms, persistent hand and finger movements with a healthcare provider. Yeah, I mean, he just doesn't stop. And then just like being nasty toward other people, and he's supposed to be Jesus. Why was right here? All he does is like do stuff with his fingers and rub, and he never stops. He absolutely never stops movement. He never stops moving his fingers. I would never date a man who did that, because there's something wrong with this guy. I'm telling you.